Alrighty. Hello, everybody, and welcome into Full Send Half Mast Podcast, episode 116. And oh boy, do we have a bunch to talk about here tonight. We had NASCAR at Martinsville, which we could, I guess, chalk up to the Wreckfest of Martinsville. We have a lot of talking points to talk about tonight. I want to talk about Mark Martin. I posted a short earlier. I don't watch Door Bumper Clear, but there was a set that it popped up and recommended with Mark Martin as a special guest. I want to talk about some of the things he talked about, which a lot of it we've been saying for a long time here on this channel if you've been around. I also want to talk about some news that we have this week that we've seen, some fines and stuff coming out of Martinsville. Point standings for the Cup Series. I want to go over that. Driver of the week, bonehead of the week. This was a tough narrowing down, but I kind of simpled it down to a certain few drivers. And then at the end of this podcast, we're going to talk about the races this weekend. We got Darlington, which is my personal favorite track in NASCAR, F1 at Suzuka this weekend, as well as our fantasy lineups for NASCAR F1. And then our watch party poll is up and out now. That will close next Tuesday. I'll give you the options here tonight as well, so you guys can go and vote for the watch party for the month of April. But first off, I got Tom with me. Tom, how you doing on this fine Tuesday, April 1st, April Fool's Day, man?
Oh man. I'm back. Sorry I wasn't able to make the last one, but yeah, ready to talk about some absolute I don't know, boringness, I guess you'd say, of last weekend, and then maybe have a little bit of fun with it.
Heck yeah. I know we talked about it a couple weeks ago. We were going to do another What's Happening, and this would have been a great week to do it, but I think we'll save it for maybe the Easter break before we go to Talladega. I think that would be a good spot for it.
Yeah.
But there was a lot to digest, especially I don't know if you struggled today or not, Tom, but there was a lot of stuff on the internet that I had to kind of double check and double take on it because damn April Fool's stuff, man, going all over the place. I think my favorite one I saw today was Auto Club is being rebuilt for 2026. I was like, don't fuck with me like that, internet. Like, gonna fucking make me cry. Oh, man. Alrighty. First off, I do want to talk about a little bit of news. First off, we have to acknowledge those beautiful schemes that we're going to see this weekend. First off, I want to talk about the F1 schemes. They don't really do a lot of cool throwbacks and different liveries throughout the year. But damn, man, this Haas car for Suzuka is freaking amazing, dude. Absolutely amazing. The thing is got the cherry blossoms, like a Japanese kind of nostalgia, right? When you think of Japan, you think of all the nice blooming trees in the springtime. I think that car looks amazing, dude. I think it's one of the best F1 liveries I've seen in a long time.
Yes.
What other schemes stand out for you for the throwback weekend at Darlington this weekend? I mean, I've seen a few of them. I think I like the I mean, we've seen it before, but the Cindric one with the Dale Earnhardt Wrangler kind of throwback, we've seen it before. I think they did a pretty good job on it. I like Blaney's throwback to his dad, Dave Blaney's win at Charlotte. I think that one looks really good.
Yeah, I think my favorite one, and I might be a little biased here, is definitely Sam Mayers for Kurt Busch's 2017 Daytona 500 win, especially with the grass on the hood. That's pretty cool in my opinion. But honestly, I think the coolest one, Jay, and I know it's kind of funny because it's Matt DiBenedetto, but his throwback paint scheme for Jeff Burton is just absolutely on point. They absolutely nailed that.
I saw a lot of Jeff Burton and Ward Burton throwbacks. Like, isn't they running Cody Ware they're running the Ward Burton Daytona 500 win car, and then Harrison's running the Citgo throwback for his dad as well. I mean, there's a lot of Burton-esque themes this year. It's kind of crazy. Seems like everybody's throwing back to like their parents or their uncles or you know what I mean? Like it feels like I mean, you got the Earnhardt ones, obviously. Like Gregson's running an Earnhardt one. There's a lot of interesting schemes. Tom's been doing a good job keeping us updated on the Discord, posting them pretty frequently on there. So if you guys have had a chance to not see any of the schemes or you guys want to see them, go check out our Discord. Tom's got just about all of them on there. The Siegs. The Siegs are running like a co-op paint scheme thing too, which is kind of cool to see as well. So I'm
Yeah.
excited, man. That's why I love Darlington. I think it's the best track in NASCAR. I don't even think it's close. Well, considering that Fontana's gone, Chicagoland's gone, I think Darlington's really kind of the last beacon of hope that we have. So I'm excited, man. And Throwback Weekend is always fun. My thing, though, I've always said this, Tom. I think my biggest gripe with Throwback Weekend is why the hell don't NASCAR just make a provision for one race a year where these guys can change their number and font to the throwback? You know what I mean? Like,
Or put the number in the middle of the door.
yeah, exactly. Put the number in the middle of the door, and then put the font and the original number of the scheme they're throwing back to. And then to prevent duplicates, you approve it months ahead of time. Like in the off season, you're like, hey, we're gonna throw back to this scheme. This is the number we want to use, and then you approve it. Like, I just don't understand why they don't do that. It's not like the driver points are tied to the owner, which is to the car, not necessarily the number, because we've seen that. Well, I guess it is the number, huh? Because we saw that with Bubba Wallace when he put it in the 45. Never mind. I don't know. I just think the throwback would be so much cooler if you could do that. You know, I don't know. That's just the way.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I agree.
All right. We need to talk about this next one, man. Sophia Florsch out at HMD Racing, sponsorship issues. Man, that is so unfortunate, man.
Yeah. That's RIP. Really. Sucks.
She did great in her debut at St. Pete. I think she finished P12, which is out of a 26 car field. It was freaking fantastic, man. She showed glimpses of speed. She's never driven this type of car. I mean, she's driven like F4 cars or junior formulas and stuff before, but she's never driven like an NXT type car.
Right.
She did great. She did really great. I guess my biggest concern with this, and I say it all the time, maybe I'm a misogynist or a chauvinist or whatever the hell we've been called in the things before. But why the hell do we spend all this time with these damn freaking models, man? Why do all these race car drivers have to be models? They can't perform, so we get on here and we call them out for not performing, and then we get called chauvinist, and then the drivers that we like Dorian Pond, Sophia Florsch, Shamie Shadwick, these aren't supermodels or models, and they don't get the opportunities that the models get, do better, and then we get called chauvinists. I mean, maybe I'm a misogynist because I just don't think models should be race car drivers.
Jay, you're just not tolerant.
I'm just not accepting of all.
Yeah. Unfortunate.
It's terrible, man. Bad look. Cancel us. Canceled.
Cancel it.
Canceled. Yeah. So yeah, it's unfortunate. We'll see what happens. I mean, hopefully maybe a sports car route opens up for Sophia Florsch because I think she's got a lot of talent. Maybe the Iron Dames. I mean, they've been lacking since they haven't had Dorian Pond. Maybe they can find a way to finagle Sophia Florsch over there. That'd be cool. All right, this is the next little bit of news, which I thought was absolutely hilarious. I did not put this on my bingo card for this week. I actually thought this was an April Fool's joke at first until I did a little bit of research. But can you believe that Jay Fry is getting hired to be the president of RL, dude?
What are they doing over there, brother?
I thought it was a joke. I really did. I had to look it up, dude. I went to multiple sources to make sure it wasn't an April Fool's joke. But this man gets canned by IndyCar less than a month ago. And what does RL do? The most RL thing you could do. Go hire the guy. I mean, things are just not looking good for RL, man. I don't know, man. He's a nice guy. I'm not gonna lie. I like listening to interviews of him or like when he talks and like he's really intelligent. He seems like a pretty chill dude. But he just failed in a lot of aspects of being the president of IndyCar. I mean, he really did. I just don't understand how it's going to translate to running RL. I know that they've had a lot of heat over the last years, and by heat, I refer to FBI raiding their building, bringing the heat. So I don't know how I don't see how this is going to work out, how this is going to pan out. This could be an interesting couple months. I mean, it seems like it's always about this time of year in motorsports, right, Tom, where the clownery starts to roll deeper. And like the further we get into the year, it just like stuff gets exposed and it just gets more hilarious every week. And it's like, here we are. We're in April now. Buckle in, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a bumpy road into the summer months. Oh, man. I'm excited. we'll see how that all works out. All right. Next thing that I want to talk about here is Cars Tour is going to get an FS1 spot for their North Wilkesboro race. Man, I am so freaking excited for this, dude. I'm the type of person, Tom, that gets flow racing at certain parts of the year. Like I'll do it obviously in the month of January or December because there's nothing going on really at the major racing series, so I do it then. Then I cancel it, and then maybe I'll pick it back up in the summer to watch some high limit stuff, maybe some Cars Tour stuff. But now not having to do that in the summer when we got at least one race on FS1, I think it's awesome, dude. Cars Tour is amazing. We got the Cars Tour West now, which I would love to see them come to my local short track. It ain't gonna happen probably in the near future, but that'd be dope. But man, I love the Cars Tour racing, dude. That's some true short track racing. And there's a lot of stuff the Cars Tour does right that I think NASCAR could do. And we'll talk about obviously that later on. But man, I'm excited, dude. This could be fun.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good deal. That's a big win for all the short track lovers in the US.
Exactly. I think it's gonna get hella ratings too, especially being right there on FS1. The only downside is they brought Harvick into the booth, and they'll probably have Jamie Little in there
Right.
too, which will suck. I think they should just keep the Flow Racing team that they usually have and just bring them into the booth. Why do we need to bring Kevin Harvick in there? You know, I mean, it's understandable it's on Fox, but why do we got to bring him in there? We know he sucks. You know, and the Cars Tour broadcasters are freaking entertaining, man. I don't know if you guys watch some of the races or if you guys watch even the highlights on Flow Racing's YouTube channel or whatnot, but man, they do a great job. So that's kind of a bummer. Alrighty. Should we talk about the fines and everything after the Xfinity race, or should we talk about them now? Let's
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 talk
save
about 'em now.
Okay, let's talk about them now. First off, Sammy Smith gets fined $25,000 and 50 points for his actions on Saturday. Justified, not justified. On point, not on point. Too much, not enough. Too little.
I don't know. This is the bet that NASCAR made, so like, I think it's BS. But I mean, just because of the stakes that are at place, I think that NASCAR made this bet. They should lay in it, and except for whatever happens on track, everybody bitches that everybody don't know how to drive on track, and that's just a direct product of what NASCAR implements in their races. So I know it's wrong, I know it's not right, but at the same time, NASCAR needs to eat crow because this is exactly what they're making in the race product every race weekend when you have that win and you're in mentality. You gotta do it. You have to do it for the sake of your race team. You just have to. So I don't know. I'm kind of over it. You know what I mean? Yeah, but I don't know. What's your opinion?
I am over it too. I mean, we'll talk about it when we get into the Xfinity stuff because I got a lot of talking points on again too. But I think the fine wasn't enough, to be honest with you, man. I think you should just strip him of any championship eligibility for the rest of the year. To be honest with you, if you're gonna set a point or a precedent, this is the time to do it, man. Like at some point, like just taking points away, but still allowing them to win and you're in, like you said, is just stupid. Like, what's gonna change? He's gonna do that at Martinsville, loses 50 points, but next week he go to Darlington and win, and he's locked into the championship playoffs. So the points penalty does nothing. $25,000 isn't going to hurt him one bit. He's a freaking rich kid, dude. Most of these are rich kids that are funding their own rides. So the $25,000 is basically like me chipping a penny into the freaking fountain down the road, at the bank. It's like, like this just got to set some type of precedent. And I think you either do that if you're going to do it after the fact like NASCAR does, or let's just do what every damn short track. This is my thought process, Tom. On my short track, they used to do what we called the outlaw restarts. They might call them different at other tracks. I don't know. That's just what they called them at my track. But basically, you would let the leader line up on the front row by himself, and then everybody else would line up double file behind him. So the leader could control the restart, but then it would prevent, when they did that, it took away cautions on starts and restarts down by like 80%. I mean, there was like maybe one caution a race at most in like these 100, 150 lap races by doing that. they would prevent all the gamesmanship on restarts. It would prevent people from dive bombing people into turn one. I think it would correct a lot of things. Second issue I see is also at my local short track. They have they still do this today. If you're involved in a wreck, if it's your fault, not your fault, doesn't matter. You get sent to the back. If you were involved, if you were a third party, when one guy runs over another guy and you accidentally tag the back of somebody else on just trying to avoid the wreck, you go to the back. If you're involved in this incident in any scenario or any way, you just go to the back. That needs to happen. I don't care. People will bitch and moan and whine about it all they want, but at least it'll fix some of the issues and all the bullshit. I think it'll fix a lot of the ARCA breaks, Tom. If you get freaking sent to the back because you didn't check up and you ran into somebody and you're going to the back, I think people will actually start slowing down for fucking yellows. And if we threw the yellow in time and consistently enough, and we went off of the running order at the last, I think instead of going by timing loops, I think you should go off of where you're running at the end of the last lap when the caution comes out. So like, if we cross the line and the wreck happens at turn 3, we just go back to what it was when we finished that previous lap. Let's get rid of fucking timing loops completely. And that will fix a lot of issues as well. There's a lot of those little intricate things that Marvel short tracks do. Like in my local short track, if there's a caution and you're out of turn 3 or out of turn 4, they just revert to the previous lap and they just restart the race. You know, it's like, how could we make something so simple and so easy at such a small, redneck, low budget? I stole this car to pay Bob's car to put a set of tires on it to be here today. Run a track that efficiently, but then we're here, you know, in NASCAR we can't do it efficiently. That's my thought process. I don't know. I kind of went on a tangent there. Is the fine enough? Is the points penalty enough? No, not at all. Fuck no. He's just gonna do it again. When's the next freaking short track? Bristol, Richmond? What's gonna prevent him from doing it again? Oh, I gotta pay $25,000 and then lose 50 points just to get an automatic qualifying spot into the playoffs? I mean, just really. I guess my biggest issue with this, Tom, is the fines that Taylor Gray and Jeb Burton got. Or was it Jeb or Harrison? They got $5,000 fine for approaching Taylor Gray in the pit in the Info Care Center. I mean, what's that all about, Tom?
Everybody complains. The fans are complaining, including myself. There's no personality with the drivers. So the drivers go out, try to get a personality, and then they get fined. It's so ass backwards. It's so backwards. What makes short track racing so popular in the US? It's the close battles and the rednecks that fight after the race. That's it. It really is. I mean, I go to my local short track and, you know, some guys, you know, they know each other and they go after the race and they punch each other a little bit and, you know, playfully. You know, whether it be in the jaw or the shoulder, you know, that's one thing. But when you start getting the big money cars out on track and people who bring toter homes to the racetrack and they go out there, they start duking it out, that's when it gets really fun, because you know the next race that takes place at the local short track, man, it's going to be some damn good racing between those two. You know what I mean? Like, they're not going to give up anything. Those guys don't get fined. They don't even get kicked out of the track. They're encouraged to come back to the track. You know? Like, I can't even, like, we're straying so far away from what racing is and what makes it so enjoyable to not only the drivers and the fans, and we're being left with a product that is essentially the NBA anymore. Or the NFL. It's just a bunch of paid actors, man. That's all it is.
I agree. 100%. It's just a bad look, man. Like, fighting's one thing, man, but like, they don't even let them fight because we got to break it up
just
before they even
talk.
Yeah, and now they just talk at each other now. It's like, we don't have any personality in NASCAR anymore. I mean, the only personality we had was Chastain's driving ability, but they neutered him and took that away. Yeah. Gregson has personality, but he's not winning races right now, so it's not being able to showcase. Hocefar's got personality because of his driving style, and I hope they don't walk him back. I mean, there's just really not a lot of personality in the garage in any NASCAR series. It's just like Tom said, it just seems like a bunch of damn paid actors, a bunch of rich kid prima donnas, man. Just like the NBA, dude. That's why I don't watch the NBA. I can't watch the NBA. It's just a bunch of prima donna actors, it feels like. And that's what NASCAR's just trying to do buttoned up. I mean, and we're gonna fine somebody $5,000 for confronting somebody for basically getting used and abused. Like Taylor Gray should next week show up with a Me Too sticker on his bumper. He got absolutely used and abused. I mean, and he has no right to go and confront him after the race. I don't care what the fucking location is. We could be at somebody's funeral. I don't give a shit. If you do something wrong, you have to fucking own up to it. It's bullshit. $5K?
Yeah.
$5,000?
I replied to one of his posts on Twitter, and it was like, dude, you got to start being that veteran and going out there and, in his words, showing these punk ass kids, you know, I guess you got to teach them how to race. You know, You got to be that veteran to go out there and do it. And then today he gets a freaking fine for going and talking to the motherfucker at the racetrack. Yeah. It's not like he went to Applebee's and started a fight there. You know, like it was at the racetrack right after the race. Like,
and that's what pisses me off too about that. Jeff Burton's great for NASCAR, dude. He's great for fucking NASCAR. He's the bulldog, or what is Victor Klingerman call him? He calls him the dog. He's the dog. Every race, man, he races hard, but he's one of the cleanest racers in the entire Xfinity series. If you guys don't freaking believe me, just watch the damn races. I mean, that just sucks, man. That just sucks. I mean, and he's good for the Xfinity series. He's gonna be like that next Justin Allgaier, that next veteran of the series that just has been there. He's a life longer, you know. And he's gonna have to just pay out freaking money every time he gets used and ran over. Bullshit, man. Bullshit.
Yeah, it is. It is.
All right. I guess the last thing we do have to talk about Eric Jones getting disqualified at the end of Martinsville, for minimum weight issues. We've seen this last year with Blake Harris, the crew chief, Alex Bowman. Now we get one here this year with Eric Jones. Another BDN moment. I mean, I just think it's absolutely ridiculous that these guys are getting busted for minimum wage. It shouldn't happen, dude. The fact that happens is just boneheaded in itself, man. Just ridiculous.
I don't get it either. I really don't. I don't even understand how that happens. You know, like you roll the car on or through the inspection tent before the race. You do it for qualifying. You do it for practice. And then all of a sudden, you're not meeting weight after the race.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
In fact, that's when the car should be the heaviest because you got all that rubber built up inside the wheel wells and whatever else you might have picked, fluids you picked up on the racetrack. Like, I don't understand. You know what? This car is garbage.
It is.
It's just terrible. It's an awful car. It's probably the worst car. Like, I would take the Twisted Sisters over this car any day of the week. Back. And I thought that car was bad.
I hated that car. Yeah, I still hate that car.
Yeah, like I don't know, man. The state of NASCAR right now is so freaking bad. It's so bad. It's bad when the Xfinity series can't even put on a race at Martinsville.
Nailed it.
You know it's bad when the Xfinity race isn't that good.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's time we get into these races. There's not much to talk about according to the races. So I think we're going to kind of summarize the Cup or the Xfinity and the trucks all in one go here. And we're just going to hash out the same shit. We're just going to keep piling that same bullshit on that plate for you guys. And we're going to keep pushing it up underneath that freaking cell to your guys' dumbasses until it finally sticks and somebody important hears this shit and actually fixes some shit. That's all I'm going to say. Just a bunch of shit, you know? I mean, okay. Let's be honest, Tom. The first two stages in both the Xfinity and the Cup race were freaking good racing. Like, I can't freaking moan and whine and bitch about it. I thought the first two stages, for the most part, there's a few incidents here and there, but for the most part, was good racing. That's short track racing. That's what I expect to see when I go to my local short track and see those guys door banging side by side. We had 3 wide racing in the trucks and Xfinity. We had 4 wide at one point in the truck race, dude. It was freaking awesome racing those first 2 stages. And then what happens when we get to the 3rd stage? Everybody loses their freaking marbles, dude, and they become a bunch of dumbass idiots, man. The truck race turned into an unwatchable wreck fest. It was absolutely freaking terrible. the racing between the front runners was good, I thought. Caden Honeycutt gets into Heim. I thought that was just good racing, door banging. But then again, we got these bodies that are designed with basically when they make contact with the tires to the weird edges on the trucks, it just cut down the tire on Corey Heim, which was super unfortunate. I don't think Honeycutt did anything wrong. I don't think Heim did anything wrong. I think they both were just racing hard, and it was an unfortunate circumstance. The thing that stings for me, Tom, as a racing purist, I hate to see it when the best car or the best truck in the race loses because of absolute race manipulation and gimmicks. You tell me if there's no stage breaks and the field doesn't turn into a bunch of clowns, Corey Heim doesn't win that race walking away. I mean, his truck was unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. It was probably the best truck I've ever seen at Martinsville. And I've been watching truck races at Martinsville for years. I've never seen one that dominant before. I mean, he was next level dominant. Like, we would get off a restart, he would clear the guy on the outside by the time they got out of turn 2. And then by the lap 4 or 5 in a run, he was already a straightaway on the field. When do we ever see that in any NASCAR level at Martinsville? Never. And the fact that he didn't win this race is absolute freaking crime and a shame to me, dude. Like, I don't even like the fucker, dude. I don't even really like him. But I wanted to see him win because how dominant of a performance that was. And I got robbed of that because of this stupid gimmicks of race manipulation, Tom. Am I right about this, or am I maybe over-exaggerating a little bit?
I mean, it's like what we were talking about before the podcast. The gimmicks, and the gimmicks that go into this race, stages, the soft tires, you could even call stage points gimmick, I think. The car is a gimmick. All this stuff that goes into it is just the state of NASCAR right now is so freaking poor that it's honestly, you could tell me tomorrow that freaking Cody Ware's going to win the Cup Championship or Frankie Muniz is going to win the Truck Championship, and you know what? I just have to sit there and believe you because I don't even know what to think anymore. It's just, God, I'm sour, dude. I really am. I'm so sour about this. It's so disappointing.
I'm just over it, man. Like, I mean, it's like you said, dude. There's all the things that boil in. We got lack of driver code. I mean, there is no driver code anymore in NASCAR. The officiating, they don't give a shit. I mean, obviously, they bring out a freaking car that's not safe, nearly about to kill people. I mean, at some racetracks. We let people run each other over. We allow these gimmicky cautions, this gimmicky playoff format, this gimmicky win if you're in. Tom's right with the stage points. I think that's even gimmicky to an extent. I don't mind it as much if we didn't have the stage breaks. And like Denny Hamlin said, and I don't like that fucker either, and I rarely watch his show, but he said with the soft tires, right? I don't think the tires are soft enough, man. I knew this going into the race. I was like, the first run of the Cup race is going to be good. Because if they really are soft tires with this abrasive racetrack, sat for a day, hot enough temperatures, this first run's going to be crazy because I feel like there's going to be a lot of tire fall off. But right as they get to the point where we have tire fall off, we get a caution, and then we get a stage break, and then we got rubber on the track by stage 2, no more tire wear for the rest of the day. Absolutely ruined it. Denny said it perfectly. He's like, we don't have a chance to let these tires wear enough on a long run because every time we finally get to a point where the tires have worn and we're going to see that disparity in speed, we have a caution again or we have a stage break. Why the fuck do we have stage breaks? It's ruining NASCAR. It's done ruin NASCAR. They've alienated real racing fans. Like you said, Tom, when we were off air, when we have like IMSA, when we run the 24 hours of Daytona, it never is manufactured. It never has any gimmicks. It's literally 24 hours. And what do we see by the end of the race? We see a battle for the win in like every freaking class, dude. It always happens. Every time. Every IMSA race I've ever seen. It always has some type of battle for the win. It's insane. And it's all strategy. It's all driver stints. And when you put your gold drivers in, your platinum drivers in. I mean, I understand it's different than NASCAR because it's an endurance race, multiple drivers. But we see it in IndyCar. We saw what was it last week? We had a banger of an IndyCar race at Thermal, And we had no cautions. And guess what the best part about the race was? The race wasn't decided until the last 10 laps of the race. And it looked like it was over for the first 3/4 of it. I mean, you can have good racing, natural racing, without having to add gimmicks. I think what I wanted to talk about next, Tom, and I think this is a great segment for it. Mark Martin went on Door Bumper Clear. I don't watch the show, but it popped up and recommended because Mark Martin was a guest on it. And I was like, you know what? I will watch anything Mark and Mark is a part of because I like Mark and Mark, man. He's freaking awesome. So I'm listening to it. I get about 29 minutes in, and finally it gets to the point where Mark Martin starts talking about the state of NASCAR. The point system. He talks about how the point system is absolutely gimmicky, illegitimate champions, having this win in your in system, the elimination rounds, calling it the playoffs in general. I like what he said. The playoffs, we don't play. Freaking legendary quote, man. And then, what was it? The overtime. He's like, why the hell do we call it overtime? Well, we need to call it something else. Well, me and Tom kind of corrected that. We call it overdrive. But that's a debate for another day. NASCAR you can come and pay us some money for the rights to that. We would appreciate it. But overdrive is a good name for it. But we don't even need it to begin with. Why do we even have overtime, dude? Why do we even have it? It never should be a thing in NASCAR. I mean, the way I feel like it should be, I can meet you in the middle ground, Tom. I don't know, with the casuals, right? I can meet them in the middle ground. I can accept one. Give me one overtime finish. I'll accept it. Whatever. I'll compromise. But why the hell are we doing 3-4 overtime finishes at some races, man? Why? That is the dumbest thing. I've never been a fan of it. There's something always refreshing about like an IMSA or an IndyCar race or even like an F1 race when it occasionally happens when you see a caution late in the race and the race is just over. Like, it's like, cool. Now we know that this guy can't get screwed on a restart. Now we know this guy's the true winner because he was winning the race when the caution came out. You know, it's like, why can't that be a thing? And then alienating of racing fans. I felt like NASCAR's alienated me since like 2017, 2018. When we started stage racing, I feel like that's when I was alienated. I feel like I'm no longer, NASCAR doesn't cater to someone like me. Someone doesn't, like, as someone who's watched NASCAR or motorsports really my whole entire life, NASCAR's left me behind. They completely basically did this to me and then ran away. That's all they did to me. They don't give a shit about me. I want to see pure racing. I want to see, I think about all the time. Like, I get nostalgic feelings of like the early 2010s watching those COT cars at like Atlanta, Fontana, Darlington. I mean, some of the greatest freaking racing you'll ever see, dude. Like, I catch myself going on YouTube and watching some of those races back. They were that good. And they were like, at the time, considered mid races, dude. But like in today's standard, those are like, you couldn't do that if you wanted to. I mean, it's like they've alienated me. I used to watch, like Mark Martin said, the true race fans, they'll watch all the pre-race shows, the race, the full race at length. They'll watch the after the post-race show. They'll watch the weekly coverage. They'll stay tuned on social media to all the news and rumors and everything going on. The silly season during the off season. They're tuned in 12 months a year, locked in on your sport. And it's like, for me, it almost feels like a chore to try to do that with NASCAR. Like, I don't think I've watched a pre-race show in NASCAR, Tom, for the last year and a half. I honestly, I think the Daytona 500 might have been the only one I watched, and that's because of the rain delay. I mean, and they don't have post-race shows anymore. We have gimmicky victory lane in front of the grandstands instead of the post-race in victory lane, like it was nostalgic. You know, it's like so many things they've done to alienate us, Tom. I mean, I don't know. I've ranted for a bit. I feel like we need some input from you.
I don't have much input. I'm just, you know, I don't know. I'm kind of tired of talking about it, to be honest with you. I really am. Like, I just have no hope it's gonna change.
It's not.
Like, I feel like I can, you know, if there was some hope, you know, I'd say so, but like, I just don't feel like there's hope.
Yeah, I agree. And like, I think what Mark Martin also said, he's like, I don't understand why we can't have 750 horsepower, 800 horsepower, 900 horsepower. It's like, He's like, they do this lower horsepower to have appeal to a new manufacturer, but if you can't even get a new manufacturer, and if they want to come in and they're not willing to build a motor that's up to 750, 800, 900 horsepower, then do you really want them? He's like, Toyota did it. Toyota came in and they freaking went right up to it. Dodge is coming in. They're willing to go up and do it. It's like, if you want to go get a BMW, why aren't they willing to come and do it? You know, it's like they won't come in with the low horsepower. Why would they come in with the higher horsepower? And the cost of the motors isn't any different than what it is with the higher horsepower than what it is now. They're detuning these motors so far down to make the lower horsepower anyway. It's like, it's just that, and then the tires, man. The soft tires. What the fuck is a soft tire, dude? I feel like it is like, what is a caution? What is a woman? What is a soft tire? It's like all this shit, dude. It's like, I can't understand it. It makes no sense. I feel like I'm playing mental fucking gymnastics trying to understand this shit, man. It's like,
I mean, who does get it, honestly?
I don't get.
I don't get it.
At some point, we just got to go get a new tire.
Even Denny Hamlin said on his podcast, all it is a tune. That's all it is. And it's like literally no money to the race teams. Very minimal. Very minimal. So if it's that freaking easy, why can't we do it? Sounds like the engine manufacturers already have the tune. They already have it. You just got to implement it. Why aren't they?
It's so much bullshit, man. It's just so much bullshit, dude. It's just so unwatchable. And like Tom said, I think your best point you made, like one point that you made earlier that I thought was really good, was that Xfinity series. When Xfinity series can't deliver, then you know NASCAR's in a sad, sad state, because the Xfinity series 99% of the time is going to deliver the best race of the weekend. And it's not even a freaking question. It's not even a debate. And when they became the worst race of the weekend, that means the whole weekend in general just took an absolute complete tank. I mean, in the gimmicky tracks that we go to, I mean, I heard somebody bitching about super speedway racing. So I'm like, why don't we go back to like a two-car tandem? And then they bitch about that too. It's like, what do you want? What do you want from Daytona?
Two-car tandem was the most competitive super speedway racing we've ever seen.
Facts.
We've ever seen. It was the most competitive.
And the most compelling. Because you had great races all the way to the end.
You remember when they had specific radios that they could tune into to other drivers? Like, that's the coolest freaking thing that they have ever done. Is like, let the drivers communicate. Let them talk. You know? Because I'm sure it happened. I never heard of it, but like, you get into a wreck, and you got that dude on your scanner. Man, you flip right to that. You start cussing an MFer out. You know what I mean? Like,
it was great.
That'd be great.
And you can talk to other spotters and shit too, because you're linked right into their entire radio system. I mean, it was great, dude. And we have some of the best radio actors from that. I mean, oh, so beautiful. But if we're not going to do that, I think the best version of late racing we've seen would probably be this year's Daytona 500. I know that's a not unpopular take, but I think the first two stages of that race was probably the best play race we've seen in a decade, dude. I enjoyed the fuck out of that race. Nobody else did, it felt like, but I enjoyed the hell out of that race, and everybody complained and bitched about it. And it's like, what do you want? What do you want as a casual? I don't understand. But yeah, try to alienate us for bullshit. That's what it feels like. They just don't care. While you see other motorsports innovating, like IMSA. IMSA's getting more popular and popular by the minute. I mean, IMSA's absolutely killing it right now. Their promotions are getting better. Their media coverage is getting better. The racing on track is probably some of the best in the world. It's my favorite racing in the world is sports car racing. I don't think anything even compares to it. Well, IndyCar is really freaking close, but it's like comparing apples to oranges, right? Because IndyCar is like a mix, is like what NASCAR wants to be. You know what I mean? Like, IndyCar is what NASCAR truly wants to be, because IndyCar is like true purist racing strategy. They race ovals, they run streets and road courses. Like, NASCAR wants to be IndyCar so freaking bad they can't stand it. And then you have IMSA, obviously, which is like a mix between like an IndyCar and a mix between an F1 where it's like endurance racing on top of like really good talented drivers, prototype racing. You've got spec racing as well as non-spec racing. I mean, GT cars, which are more relatable to the roads. I mean, it's like that's kind of how I feel. But NASCAR just doesn't have an identity, man. Like they want to be this, they want to be that. They want to be like the NFL. They want to be like IndyCar. They want to be like WWE. They want to be like the Real Housewives of Atlanta. They want to be like all this shit in one, but they have none of it. They can't do. It's like when you have something that's really really good, but they do or something that claims to be really really good, but they try to do like 80 things. But instead of doing like one thing really good, they do 80 things all really shitty. So it's like there's no bright spot to it, you know? It's like that's how I feel about NASCAR. There's just so many bass backwards wrong things and ways to go about it. It's so hard, and I got suckered back into it, Tom, because after last year at Martinsville, I was like, I'm fucking done with NASCAR. And then guess what? I watched the Daytona 500. I get glued again because I freaking enjoyed the race. And now here I am 6 weeks into the season, and I'm freaking pissed off again. I can't even believe I actually jumped back into that freaking trap, dude. It's so bad.
Yeah, it is bad. It's terrible.
Oh,
really?
Man. I feel like I could
really
is this for days, dude, to be honest with you. But it's like, I mean, honestly, if you guys have not watched our channel before, I mean, we have a library of videos where we talk about this same shit like almost on a weekly basis. Like we've been complaining about this shit for a long time. Nobody's gonna listen or care. I mean, to be honest with you, at least nobody important. But I mean, when Mark Martin's saying the same stuff that we have, I might have to make a video this week, Tom, taking what Mark Martin said in that podcast, take clips, and then take clips from us saying the same shit throughout the last 2 years, and just put that up on YouTube for you guys to listen to all these talking points. Because we've been saying this. We've been beating this mule dead, man. This mule is dead, resurrected. We killed it again and put it back in the ground. It might be coming back next week. Who knows? We'll find out tomorrow. But that's just the way I feel, dude. God damn. All right. Let's see. I want to talk about Corey Day first with the truck race. I just want to do all these different talking points I had written down. I feel like Corey Day is the next Brad Sweet. I'm not gonna lie. He is an exceptional, probably top 3 best sprint car driver in the world. I'd probably put maybe Kyle Larson, David Gravel ahead of him, but I would say he's probably 3rd, right behind them. He can't adjust to NASCAR. I mean, do you think this NASCAR thing's a failure? Do you think he's gonna get better at it? I just feel like he's Brad Sweet, man. Brad Sweet had like glimpses in NASCAR, but he was never great enough to make it, you know? It's like, I feel like that's how Corey Day's going to be. I feel like in about 3 years, we're going to see Corey Day back in sprint cars full time. He's not even going to be a NASCAR driver anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, yeah, I agree. But at the same point, why would you want to drive a NASCAR at this current state?
Exactly.
Like
he can make way more money in high
probably make more money. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Oh, man. And have more fun. Have more time off.
Yeah.
Travel more, whatever. I mean, yeah, I kind of feel that with Corey Day. I mean, and what can you accomplish in NASCAR that you can't accomplish in sprint cars? The Daytona 500, I think, is one thing that you wouldn't be able to win. I mean, winning a freaking spring race at Martinsville. Whoop-de fucking do. I got a clock. I got to fucking wind up. You know what I mean? I'd rather take home a fucking $250,000 check for winning a race in bumfuck Oregon, dude. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. That's the way I feel. Let's see. Daniel Hemrick backs his way into a win. I mean, it's surprising. I didn't think he would ever win another race in NASCAR, and he ends up backing his way into a win. Which, granted, I mean, I feel like that's how the weekend went. Backing your way into a win. Does he win more? Is this just a back-end win?
I mean, look, he's with a pretty damn good team, right? Like, he should be winning more throughout the year. Like, I mean, I would say, a decent start to the Truck Series season already. But I mean, he should have never won that race. Let's you know, let's make that known right now. But yeah, sure, like he should be winning more.
Yeah, I agree. He should be. We'll see if it continues throughout the year. Now he's locked into this gimmicky make it winning your in playoff system. I want to talk about Layden Riggs though. Man, man, I feel bad for Lane Riggs. He had a really good truck, it looked like, in that first stage. He ends up getting dumped by Mosak and really never recovered for the rest of the day. Just got stuck and buried in traffic. And I think he had the best quote. He said, everybody looks at me as being this good short track racer and with all my past and what I've driven in the past with short track racing. He's like, I just don't want a short track race in NASCAR. I just don't like it. Nothing that makes me good at it is even replicable in NASCAR. People just run each other over. Like, I don't know exactly how he said it. I don't want to quote him. I'm paraphrasing here, but I felt that, man. Like, Lane Riggs is an exceptional freaking talent. And if you guys can't see that by just watching his driving style and watching him on a regular basis, like, you guys are just dumb. You don't understand racing. But for him to be one of these best short track racers in the country, to say that about NASCAR racing and short track racing, it makes me just not even want to have short tracks in NASCAR anymore, dude. I just don't even want to see it anymore. What I saw this weekend was pathetic. It was embarrassing. Like, I just don't even want to see that anymore. Like, next time Martinsville comes back around, I'm not even going to watch, dude, to be honest with you. I could care less. Bristol coming up? No, I'm not even going to fucking watch that shit, dude.
Well, the only acceptable short track that should be is 2024 Spring Bristol.
Yeah. If we don't replicate that, then there's no point.
If we don't get that, then what the hell are we doing?
Which is sad, too, because I remember, like, the mid-2000s or mid-2000s, early 2010s. Those truck races at Martinsville were freaking awesome, dude. I used to watch them on Speed TV, and you had the veterans. You had, like, Todd Bodine. You had
Ron Hornaday,
Mike Skinner. I mean, you had some freaking legendary drivers. Johnny Benson. I mean, you had some legendary drivers, dude, that were just duking it out on those short tracks and door banging. And dude, those were some of my favorite races, those 200 lappers at Martinsville in the truck series without stage cautions. I mean, there was some great racing, and it's like, what has progressed to the truck series at Martinsville? What's progressed to Xfinity at Martinsville? It's like, come on, guys. Like, God, what I could do to just go back in time to what we had, man. Like, it's like that. It's pretty freaking cliche, but it's like, you don't know you're in the good old days when you're in the good old days, and then you look back on them and you're like, damn, those were the good old days, man. There was nothing better than those days, man, watching racing back in that time, dude. I mean, everything was just amazing, dude. Like, and now I can see why the popularity of NASCAR died off. It makes sense, man. If you look at the trends, dude, like, it peaked, really. I think NASCAR racing peaked in, like, 2011. I think 2012. That's like the 2010, like the early COT cars, man. Those were some great years of racing. And then after 2012, I feel like that's a new era started 2013 onward. I feel like it just changed. NASCAR just never been the same. And then I feel like they really alienated me once they got to, like, the stage breaks and all that crap. It just got worse downhill from there. There's really nothing else I want to talk about the truck race. I'm looking at my notes. I went over everything I wanted to talk about. Yeah. All right, Xfinity. Same bullshit, same talking points. Absolute freaking wreckfest. Can we talk about how much of a fucking moron Sammy Smith is? I mean, this guy is an absolute twat, bro. I can't stand the guy. I mean, I feel the same way about Sam Mayer. We could add him to this conversation because I think he's an absolute freaking idiot, man. I mean, how many people did they run over in this race between the two of them? They took out half the field.
Yeah, they really did. I don't know. You need that veteran in there to throw hands, brother. That's what you need.
Facts. I mean, yeah, but then again, you can't even say that because what happened 2 weeks ago at Phoenix? Eric Almirola runs Bowman into the wall. I mean, even the veterans are driving like assholes.
Yeah.
So it's like it's not even like we need more Parker Kligermans, more Jeb Burtons. We need more. Who else doesn't run people over? AJ Allmendinger was never a guy that ran people over. Like, those type of guys. Those guys don't run people over. You know? And it's I mean, let's talk about Zilich too. Like, poor Zilich, man. He won both stages, gets buried in traffic, gets put back in the hornet's nest, and ends up getting damaged, and his entire race is over. It's like, dude, this is again. Why the hell is Zilich in NASCAR, bro? Come on. This dude could be a freaking world champion in the World Endurance Championship, like, next year if he wanted to be. Like, you know how many manufacturers would line up to hire him to drive their hypercar next year? IndyCar. You have IndyCar right there.
IndyCar.
And you're an amazing road racer. And you're figuring the ovals out. You would transition so well to IndyCar. It's like, you're just wasting your talents, man. I said the same thing about Corey Day. Like, there's these guys that I think are amazing talents. Like, I think Corey Day is a top 50 race car driver in the world right now. But his specialty is not NASCAR. All these people want to go to NASCAR. SVG, I think he's a top 50 driver in the world. And here he is in NASCAR. You know, it's like, why? Why are we wasting time in NASCAR? It's just, and then Zilich, man. He's probably, I feel like Zilich is on the potential path to be the next Mario Andretti, but he chose NASCAR instead of living up to his true potential, dude. It's like how much this guy could accomplish. I mean, I don't know. I just felt like it was a bad race for Zilich. It sucks, man. It's just like, we need more real racetracks to come up. Because I feel like Zilich has figured it out. He's up front every damn race. He's had 2 races he could have won back-to-back that he had pit road penalty and then a speedy penalty and then a pit road violation. Took him out of winnings there. And then this race obviously had the best car, it felt like, early in the race and got screwed. Unbelievable. What else did I want to talk about? Oh, yeah, Sam Mayer. We never really talked about Sam Mayer, Tom. Him running over freaking, what was it, Christian Eckes down the straightaway? What? What?
Oh, man.
I like what Nick Sanchez said in his post-race interview. It was like, they showed him the replay. He's like, I don't even know what happened there. I just saw cars wrecking in front of me, and then I get collected out of no doing of my own. I don't understand what's going on. I don't understand why we're wrecking on a straightaway. I like Nick Sanchez, dude. I've been watching since ARCA, dude. He did good in trucks, obviously. Now he's up in Xfinity, but man, that was a great quote by Nick Sanchez. Oh man. Is there? I mean, I guess I think you should lead us off with kind of the end of this race and your opinions on the last finish here.
Yeah, of course. I mean, God, I don't even know where to start, Jay, because this whole thing is just so disappointing. Like, it even pains me just to talk about it. You know, like, okay, we all saw what happened, right? The 54, probably, well, I think other than the 88, 54 best car on track at that point in time. Sam Mayer gives him a bump on a restart, gets by him, another caution comes out. Or it was Sammy Smith, sorry, not Sam Mayer, Sammy Smith. And on the next restart, Taylor Gray does the same thing to Sammy Smith. Goes into turn 3, comes to get the white flag, goes into turn 1, through turn 2, down into turn 3. The 8 car takes like a 3-mile gap and makes it negative 15 feet and plows right through his rear bumper and sends him into the outside wall. Makes the most dumbest move I probably have ever seen in my entire life, and then proceeds to just absolutely choke the rest of the, 500, well, more than that, probably like 1,500 feet to the start-finish line. And Austin Hill goes by Creed in the infamous P2 position that he's always in. Finishes P2, Austin Hill wins the race. I mean, again, this is the bed that NASCAR has laid. The win that you're in is the mentality. That is what's creating this BS crap that's happening on track. Everybody wants to complain that, oh, it's a respect thing, it's a that thing, it's a this thing, boys will be boys, young guys coming in. It's what NASCAR wanted. This is what NASCAR has portrayed in the rule book. The winning you're in, all the race for a championship, well, not specifically in the Xfinity Series, but in the Cup Series, the charters, all this other crap that they got going on. It's just, it created that. That's what is it. All of this could have been prevented by just saying, no playoff format. It's a year-long season. You get the points. Sammy Smith would have been content with the P2. well, I don't know. You can't really say that a true racer always wants to win, but in the reality and in the big scheme of things, Sammy Smith would have been better off with the P2. What did he finish instead? 15th?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Threw it away.
I mean, killed Jeb Burton, basically killed every car behind him, really, including the one car in front of him, the 54. But I mean, I just, God damn, there's just no point in freaking talking about it. It's the same shit week in and week out, man. I just want to watch some IndyCar.
Yeah. I feel you, dude. We got 2 more weeks for IndyCar and IMSA doubleheader at Long Beach. I'm super excited for that. Yeah. I mean, I guess the real question here, Tom, is do you think he does this if we have a full season points championship?
I mean, look, in the grand scheme of things, in the big picture, why the hell would you do that? Why?
You're just making enemies.
Why would you sacrifice a second place for 15th place? Why would you do that?
Winner,
in the
you're
last
in.
corner. Yeah, but without the gimmick, though. Without the gimmick. That knowledge or that thought process would not make sense.
No.
Wouldn't make sense at all. You know what, Jay? I would finish P2 every race in a season to win the championship, then win 6 races and finish 5th in points.
Facts. If you're racing for points, I see that. But I agree. If you're racing for points. But if you're like somebody coming in, my philosophy is if you're somebody coming in and you're running like 6 races a year and you got a chance to win one, fuck it. Do it. Because there's no repercussions for that. But if you're running a full season championship, why the fuck are you doing that, dude? Like
this, yeah. But even the penalty system that NASCAR has now, what they gave Sam Smith, it means nothing because he still has a chance in the next race to make the playoffs.
Yep.
It means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. This is all bullshit in a pool of duck shit. It doesn't mean anything. It's still shit.
It's all just shit. I agree, man. That was just the dumbest thing. And then, yeah, like you said, Creed comes home P2 again. I mean, God, this dude's gonna have more P2 finishes than my. I don't even know what to compare it to. I mean, it's mind-boggling.
He's P2 master, baby.
He's oh my God, dude. Oh man. And then and then Austin Hill backs his way into a win. But then again, we can't let Austin Hill off the hook either because he ran over a lot of people in this race too.
He did. Yeah, I forgot about that.
I can't stand that guy either, man. Like there's just a lot of it pains me, man. It's like the one thing a week that gets me interested in watching NASCAR because it sure as hell ain't the Cup Series. It's the damn Xfinity Series, man. And for them to just absolutely have a race like this just absolutely pains me to the core, man. It pains me to the soul. I just can't believe it. I can't believe it.
I can't either.
I gotta quit talking about it. I'm gonna be depressed, dude. To be honest with
That's
you.
what I'm saying. Like there's just no point because it will never change. It just won't, man.
More never changes. Oh man.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, we'll talk about the Cup race briefly here. We'll kind of wrap this up with the Cup race. Tire wear. I've already talked about it earlier. The tire wear wasn't there. We haven't seen it. As much as I don't like Denny Hamlin, it was good to see him win. For the only reason I say that is because it was good to see the best car in one race actually win a race this weekend. It should have been a Toyota sweep with Heim, Hamlin, and Gray. All 3 of them or 2 of the 3 got screwed. It was good to see Hamlin win that race late. Another loose wheel, SVG's team or crew this time again. Another talking point we bitch about all the time. I'm over it. I'm over talking about it because it's never gonna change. Nothing's gonna fix. We're gonna see another loose wheel next week. I promise you that. I'm over it. Bullshit. But we're gonna continue with that talking point. I guess the other thing was I kind of nominated as Bonehead of the Week because I think this is kind of funny. When Tyler Reddick dumps Ty Gibbs, and then Ty Gibbs goes over the radio, "Keep you away from that fucker after the race. I'm gonna beat his ass." And then it proceeds to stand by his car and let Reddick walk over to talk to him after the race. Oh man, that would have been a good fight though. The toddler versus the little redhead dude. It would have been funny. Little Luigi looking ass. Oh man. Oh yeah. Denny Hamlin wins. I mean, there's just really nothing else to talk about. I mean, what would I grade this race? Probably one of the worst I've ever seen, dude. Race weekends, considering it was only the NASCAR races this weekend, probably the worst race weekend I can remember in living history. I mean, besides the Atlanta weekend, like last year, was it, or 2 years ago, that was just absolute dog shit as well.
Yeah,
I didn't enjoy the races this weekend. I checked out on the Cup race.
I
I
didn't
checked
either.
out on the Xfinity race. I checked out in the truck race. I mean, it was just. I mean, the memes are everywhere. I mean, the can't escape it. Can't escape it. I just don't even want to talk about it anymore. I think that pretty much summarizes the race weekend, dude. It was awful. God awful. Ugh.
It really was.
All right, let's go into drivers of the week. I want to nominate Andres Perez, P7 in the truck race. This guy had no contact with anybody, never was the focus of the camera because he was never involved in any bullshit or incidents. Never won an ARCA race. It will probably loom over him forever until he finally wins a race in the top 3 series. I think he's a great driver. He showed so many glimpses in the ARCA series. But when you're going against guys like Corey Heim and then Jesse Love and then William Swallish and Connor Zilic in like 3 back-to-back years, I mean, it's understandable that you never want to race, right? So he had a great run, man. I enjoyed watching him up at the front. I was hoping he'd win the race. When I saw all those other idiots running each other over, and the one guy that wasn't was him, and I was like, man, I hope they all just continue running into each other, and Andres Perez backs his way into a win because he deserves it, man. Great run by Andres Perez this weekend. I want to talk about Brennan Poole, P4 in the Xfinity Series race. We talk about all the time. Who the hell is the teammates over that Alpha Prime? Well, we found out who the other one is. It's Brennan Poole. He wheels that thing to a P4. And like, same thing with Andres Perez. That's why I nominated him. Not only the result, but when did you see Brennan Poole run into anybody all race long? Never. Not once.
Never.
Again, like I said, Jeb Burton. Brennan Poole is another name I'll throw out there. Who did I say earlier? I said I can't even remember. But there's like a handful of 3 or 4 or 5 drivers that you just never run into with people. Never cause an incident. This was one of them. And he had a great run for it. He got rewarded for everybody else's bullshit shenanigans. And I appreciate that. And then this one, I think Tom will appreciate this because Tom's been picking him as dark horse the last few weeks. But Ryan Preece, man, P7 again, dude. 3 straight top 10s. He's gonna win a race, dude, for the end of this year. I see it coming, dude. He's got speed everywhere they go, it seems. I think he's the banner RFK car right now. Points might not reflect it, but they will by the time we get to summer months if they keep this pace up, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, watch out. I think Priest is going to be, I don't know, if Buescher doesn't win this weekend, Priest is going to be the first RFK winner or RFK car in victory lane. I really do believe it.
I believe it too, man. He's been impressing me extremely well this year. I always thought he was like maybe a little overrated, it felt like, because he raced for JTG, never really did any better than Buescher did there. Raced at SHR, which I guess looking back on it, hindsight's 2020, it was probably a really bad situation. But he's proven it at RFK. Boneheads of the week, I'm gonna nominate Sam Mayer, Sammy Smith, and then I'm just gonna throw in one from the Cup just for shit's sakes, because I just don't want to go through the list of names. I was gonna nominate the entire Xfinity field and the entire truck field, but I felt like we needed to narrow it down a little bit here, so we'll go with those two. And then I'll do Tyler Reddick dumping Ty Gibbs. I think that would be a good one as well, just because of how funny that was. And that was probably the only funny moment of the entire weekend, besides the Nick Sanchez quote. It was, I don't understand why we're wrecking down the straightaway. That shit still cracked me up. All right, standings for the Cup Series point standings after Martinsville. Byron's still your points leader, 15 points above Larson, and 32 points above Elliott. All right, it's time. We got a bright spot, Tom. We got some F1 this weekend, man, and the season start to F1 has been amazing. I'm sure there's gonna be nothing different here this weekend at Japan at Suzuka. First off, the Cup Series and Xfinity Series are at Darlington this weekend as well. We'll do notable entries this weekend in the Xfinity Series. We got 3 Cup guys. We got Chastain driving for Junior Motorsports. We got Chase Elliott for Hendrick Motorsports, and then Christopher Bell for JGR. And then also Austin Green, man. I think this is his first oval start in the Xfinity Series, if I'm not mistaken. I like this guy. Trans Am champion, great driver in Trans Am. Has had great runs in his few Xfinity starts he's had at like Coda. I'm excited to see what he can do at Darlington. This is gonna be a tough debut if this is his first oval debut, but I'm excited to see what he can do this weekend. Cup Series, we got old Austin Hill and JJ Yaley racing in the Cup Series this weekend. And then in F1, we had the shakeup. I talked about it last week with you guys in extent here on the channel. But Yuki Tsunoda is going to be driving for Red Bull Racing this weekend, making his debut in the premier team. And Liam Lawson gets demoted down to the RB Get One Free Cash App team. So let's do it. Let's go for predictions. Xfinity Series Sports Clip Haircuts 200. Like I said, I freaking love Darlington, man. Like, Darlington's that one track, dude, that you're always going to get a banger race. They just can't fuck up Darlington. They just can't. They really can't. There's just no way you can mess up Darlington. And I expect this Xfinity race to be an absolute banger. I think it's going to be super competitive. I want to take my boy Creed. Every part of my soul wants to take Creed this weekend. This is his best track. I mean, how many times have we seen Creed in the photo for the win at Darlington in the Xfinity Series? Every freaking time they go there, he's right there in contention. But, you know, he's just doomed to always finish second. He will finish second again this weekend to the guy who wins, and that will be Christopher Bell, who goes back-to-back in this Darlington Xfinity Series race. If you remember last year, he kind of backed into it when Creed had that pit road issue with that late BS caution that screwed Creed out of the win. I think that kind of happens again this year. I think Creed's going to finish P2 to Christopher Bell. Christopher Bell's just so good at Darlington. And I think this track matches his driving style. I think Bell's going to be exceptional this weekend. I would watch out for him to win. And then my dark horse, I'm going to go with Ryan Sieg. Just because, man, dude, Sieg is just a Chad, man. Like, even Kyle Sieg is becoming a little bit of a Chad, dude. Like, Kyle Sieg's starting to figure it out, dude. I think my favorite moment of the year so far in NASCAR is 100% that moment at, was it Homestead when both Siegs finished P2 and P3 at the end of the stage? That was the coolest shit of the entire year, man.
Yes.
I think one of those two Sieg brothers are going to end up at victory lane before we know it. And I think it'll be Ryan before Kyle. So I'll take Ryan this weekend as my dark horse.
All right. For my favorite, I'm holding on to a little bit of hope here that, man, maybe we can see a little bit of the old in this driver. Not going to be racing in the Cup Series where he normally is, but has a ride here with Junior Motorsports. So I'm going to go with Ross Chastain for my favorite. Maybe we can actually see some unrestricted driving out of him. To be honest with you, I've kind of lost hope in him. I really don't follow him anymore. I'm all about that Hocevar right now, baby. Come on. And then my dark horse, I'm doing it all year long. You can come here every freaking Tuesday. I'm going to say the same damn thing. It's going to be Ryan Sieg. He is going to get his first win this year. Why not Darlington?
Hell yeah. I love it, man. The train is running wild here at the Dega Boys channel. Alrighty. Next, we'll talk about F1, the Japanese Grand Prix weekend. Man, I'm so excited for this race. I think this could be the best. Well, I don't know. It's hard to say when you're comparing NASCAR Xfinity at Darlington to F1, but man, this has been such a great start to the F1 season. Australia, probably one of the top 10 greatest F1 races I've ever seen. I don't know how they could top it for the rest of the year, to be honest with you, Tom, with the schedule. I mean, we got Brazil coming, we got Vegas, we got Baku. Those are about 3 chances to maybe up it.
Austria's
been good. Yes. But, I mean, that Australian Grand Prix was...
Silverstone, maybe.
Maybe. Silverstone's so hit and miss anymore. It's like you get a good race.
It is kind of hit and miss for sure.
Yeah. But this weekend, Japan, Suzuka. I do enjoy this track. I think it's a great track. It's a lot of drivers love this track. It's a driver's track. But right now, who's the best team on the grid? I mean, it's McLaren. I don't think it's really particularly close right now. I feel like this World Championship battle is going to be interesting because McLaren, it seems like at the end of last year, they kind of tailed off. They're kind of starting off this year kind of how they ran last year. I think they're going to continue the momentum, especially at a place like Suzuka. It seems like they got a good balance on downforce. They got a good balance on less drag down the straightaways. It just seems like that car is just all around just that much better than everybody else right now. And I think it's going to be a while before we see people starting to catch up with upgrades, especially when we get into the summer months. So with that being said, I'm going to take Oscar Piastri to go back-to-back. I just think Lando Norris, again, can't go Lando. I mean, we've seen one race in the last 3 years that he was actually able to go on the starting line. You know, I just don't see that being a consistent thing for him. Piastri has been pretty much lights out. I think he could have beat Norris in Australia if they would have just let him race Norris there and then it didn't play team orders. I think Piastri will out-qualify him. That one weakness Piastri had in his game was qualifying. I think he's figuring it out. I think he's doing better in qualifying. I think he's going to win this race running away. My dark horse, and this is interesting too, because part of me wants to take one of the Haas cars, man. After that performance at China, dude, these Haas cars are badass. But the problem is Suzuka's going to race a lot like Australia, and those Haas cars were dog shit at Australia, dude. I mean, they were awful. But you took them to freaking Japan, to China? Those Haas cars were probably the third best car on the grid, it felt like, dude. Like, they fourth best at probably. I mean, they were amazing at China. But going to Japan, I just don't think it's going to fit to the Haas style. I feel like the big wild card right now is Williams, right, Tom? I feel like, I mean, we haven't seen anything out of Sainz. We've seen a lot out of Albon. Albon's really proven to really kind of making me and Tom, or mostly Tom, correct about that Albon assessment, because I've been kind of off and on, hot and cold with Albon. But he's really proved it this year. But with that being said, the guy's making his first start at his home Grand Prix in the Red Bull. I'm going with Yuki Tsunoda. I think he has a big race this weekend. I think he's got a chip on his shoulder. I think I feel like he's just, him personally, think that he feels like he deserved this ride for a long time. And now he's got the opportunity. I think he's going to make the most of it this weekend. I think he's going to definitely score points for the first time this year. I think he's going to be not as fast as Verstappen, but he's going to be mixing it up with the Ferraris. I think he'll be mixing it up with Antonelli. And then I guess the biggest wild card there for the edge of the points would be the Williams and the Haas cars, to see how they kind of run. That's just kind of how I feel. I think it's gonna be a freaking awesome race, start to finish. Watch out for Piastri. Watch out for Tsunoda to score some points this weekend.
All right, my favorite. Look, I'll preface this by saying I like Piastri. I hate McLaren. I just don't like them. I think they're a bunch of scumbags. I think they're, I don't know. I'm not about it. And I don't want to see him win. It's kind of unfortunate for Piastri. It was a big career move for him. I don't blame him. Going from Alpine to McLaren, but Jay's already chosen Piastri. Here's my situation. Max is carrying Red Bull. I don't think they're going to win Japan. It's kind of a technical track. That car's ass. Ferrari's Ferrari. I mean, if anybody could pull off anything with a Ferrari, it's Hamilton. But, like, Leclerc's been there for a long time. We've seen the cycles. I don't even think Leclerc has a chance. I just don't think it's going to happen. That kind of leaves me with Mercedes. I don't know. My thoughts on Mercedes has changed a little bit since last year with Hamilton. Their outlook on stuff, I appreciate it a lot more. And so, I think I'm going to go with Russell for the race win. I think if there's anybody that could take it to McLaren, it's going to be Russell. I don't think his teammate is there yet. Per se, he's had some pretty damn good races leading up to this point. Yeah, we're gonna go with Russell for race win. My dark horse, I'm taking it all year again. You come here every Tuesday, I'll say the same damn thing. It's gonna be Kimi Antonelli. We're gonna watch that man win a race this year, I think.
Hell yeah, I do like that. I'm a huge fan of Antonelli. I think he's having a great year. I think that's a great pick. I think if anybody's going to compete this weekend with the McLarens, I think it's definitely going to be Mercedes. Because Ferrari, dude, whenever they go to these tracks that are more technical and they have more braking zones and not as long as straightaways, it feels like Ferrari is just ass. And I feel like that's what Suzuka is going to provide for them this weekend. So I like the picks. I really do. Alrighty. Fantasy. I had to change my fantasy lineup, Tom. I got screwed because with Tsunoda moving to Red Bull, the app or the fantasy ended up forcing me to have to change my lineup.
That's BS.
Yeah, I had
like you invested in that guy beforehand.
Yeah, I know. So his price went up by 10 million, and so they forced me to change it. So I had to take the 10-point hit.
What the hell?
So I was like, well, since I have to take the 10-point hit anyway, let's just rotate it and change some stuff. So I put Piastri in there instead of Hamilton. I kept Antonelli, I kept Albon, I kept Ocon, and I kept Hülkenberg. And then I have Mercedes and Haas in my manufacturer. So I basically just swapped out Tsunoda for Piastri.
Yeah.
which allowed
is
me to
crazy.
afford Albon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy, actually.
Yeah, it is crazy.
Crazy evaluation. All right. For my fantasy, same thing. Hamilton, Antonelli, Hulkenberg, Alonso, and Bortoletto with McLaren and Sauber. So,
Alrighty.
yeah.
Let's do Cup race. Darlington, the Goodyear 400. It's gonna be a good race, man. I'm really confident it being a good race. I've always loved Darlington. Like I said, you can't mess up Darlington. Uh, what kind of tire do they bring to Darlington? I guess that's the biggest question. I want to see a lot of tire fall off, a lot of tire wear. Darlington's good when the pace drops off like seconds at a time by the end of a run. I mean, that is peak Darlington. Do we get that this weekend? I'm confident we will. I have a good feeling about it. I'm not going to come in with a skeptical mind or with a negative opinion going into it. I'm going to go in with an open mind. But with that being said, I think this guy's on a heater right now. He's so good at Darlington too. I feel like Hamlin's going to go back to back. I feel like it's just kind of the trend of the season. It's going to be tough to win though because like Tom said, I think Buescher's got a good chance to win this race this weekend. I think Reddick's going to have a good chance. Hung Money's probably going to Hung Money it. This is one of Chastain's best tracks too, so I wouldn't count out Chastain this weekend. So I'm going to go Hamlin just because I'm going to go with the safe pick. I feel like they're on a heater right now. Momentum is a big thing, especially going to like one of his best tracks back to back. I feel like it's just a good pick. My dark horse, I am going to go with Eric Jones. And listen to me and hear me out on this one. Eric Jones, a 2-time Southern 500 winner. He gets around Darlington. If there's one track on the schedule I look at Eric Jones having a good performance at, and the stats kind of back it up too, that is Eric Jones, man. I think Eric Jones is going to be a fringe top 10 contender at the end of this race. I have a good feeling about it. Will the cars be good enough? Will the cautions lie out right? I don't know. He hasn't ran good the last couple races at Darlington when I've taken him as a dark horse, but I have a feeling, man, something's got to turn around with Eric Jones. Eric Jones is really talented, and he's just had a bad go of it in his career, man. If you just look at Eric Jones's career arc, man, it's depressing, dude. So, I would love to see him have a good run. Maybe I'm just picking it out of optimism and past precedent, but I'd like to see Eric Jones have a good run this weekend.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess it's my 15 seconds to talk about NASCAR. My favorite is Buescher. I mean, for pretty obvious reasons, RFK is pretty strong here in the past couple of years. And then my dark horse, I mean, again, we talked about it a little bit. I don't think you can kind of deny it here. Priest is probably looking at a win this year. I feel like I'm going to take him as my dark horse for Darlington.
Alrighty. Now, for fantasy lineups for this weekend, I'm going to go Reddick, Larson, Jones, Buescher, Hamlin. I just feel like that's your Darlington group.
Yeah.
Right there.
I'm going to take RFK as a whole. And then I'm going to take Hung Money, which I'm kind of... You know what? I'm not going to take Hung Money, actually. I'm going to take Ross Chastain. Yeah, I'm going to take Ross Chastain, and I'm going to take old Red Dick to round out my top 5.
I like the lineup. Again, that's a pretty good heavy Darlington lineup as well. This is an interesting race. I mean, really, when you go to Darlington, you kind of just look at past trends because that's really who's going to be the best there. I mean, that just feels like it every time. All right, matchups this week. We got Chastain and Logano. I'm going to take Chastain over Logano. And like Tom said, man, I think this is a good track for Chastain. I think Chastain's going to have a decent run.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Chastain as well.
All righty. Next one is Hamlin versus Byron. This is a tough one, but I picked Hamlin to win, so I'm going to stick with Hamlin over Byron in this matchup. We saw this last year with Byron. Remember, he started the season off really hot, and he started to fade as we got into the late spring and into the summer months. I don't know if that's happening now. We're going to find out. Maybe it was a one-off at Martinsville. We're going to find that out this weekend at Darlington.
Yeah, I'm going to take Hamlin too. Yeah, I thought about this one a little bit because we have seen speed out of the 24 at Darlington in the past. I don't know. I kind of... You remember last year where I was like, take the 24 if you want guaranteed points. Yeah. I don't feel like it's the same thing this year.
I don't either. I don't. I feel like he just got off to a hot start. I really do.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, next one is Busch versus Gibbs. Excuse me. This is a good matchup because these guys have had a terrible year, both of them so far. But I'm gonna take this experience. I'm gonna take Busch. I feel like he's gonna have a better performance than Gibbs.
Same. I don't know what the hell's happening in that camp, but they need to fix it quick.
Yeah, facts. All right, and then the next one or the last one is Bubba Wallace and Chase Elliott. I'm gonna take Bubba, man. Bubba is having a hell of a year right now, dude. Like he is the best 2311 car right now. Who would have thought that coming into the season?
Right.
He's championship bound, dude. I mean, this is the most. I don't know if it's having a kid, man, changed him, but he is like way more cool behind the cool headed. He doesn't throw away performances. He runs where he's supposed to run. I mean, this is a different Bubba Wallace than I think we've ever seen in his career. I think this is Bubba Wallace into his prime right now. I think he's got a lot to prove this year, man. I think he's gonna be a championship contender come down to the end of the season. Does he make the championship 4? No, I don't think so. Does he make the round of 8? I can likely see it, dude. 100%. Watch out for Bubba this year, and I'm gonna take him over Elliott.
Yeah. Well, look, there's a lot of drivers you can put up against Elliott, and I'd still choose them over Elliott. You know.
Facts.
But yeah, I'm taking the 23 too. I mean, that's just a no freaking brainer.
I agree. Alrighty. Last little bit before we wrap up this podcast tonight. Watch Party Poll is out. Options on that will be the IndyCar and IMSA weekend next weekend. IMSA's on Saturday. Sunday's IndyCar. Those are up on the poll at Long Beach, and then F1 at Jeddah, which me and Tom hate Jeddah, like driving it, but watching races at Jeddah is hella entertaining. Not gonna lie, I love watching races at Jeddah. So I'll put that on there as an option, and then the last one, since it's Easter weekend, it will be at Dega the weekend after, so we won't be able to do it that weekend. I'll put in the Xfinity Series race at Rockingham, which I'm super excited about. I think it's going to be a great race, so I'm going to put that on the poll as well. Alrighty. Make sure you guys vote on that watch party poll. Let your voice be heard. We will do a watch party for you guys here in the month of April. If you guys enjoyed this podcast, make sure you guys hit the thumbs up, hit the bell notification to stay up to date. We're here every Tuesday, our talking weekly talk show about motorsports, everything happening. We talk about it all. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you guys want to stay up to date with everything happening on our YouTube channel, all of our social media links are in the description below. Follow us on all of those socials to stay up to date with everything we're doing. A lot of stuff is happening on X recently, so trying to keep posting on there and try to build that community over there. Also, our Discord. We have a thriving Discord with all motorsports news from all motorsports series from around the world. All the drama, the rumor, the news, the memes, the whatever it may be. You guys can post your own stuff in there. We love it when you guys do. A lot of you guys have been posting recently, so it's awesome to see. Come join the greatest racing community on the internet. If you guys want to support us even more, we have a merch store. We got all kinds of merch items. We got hats, beanies, shirts, sweatpants, shorts, coffee mugs, bumper stickers, all kinds of awesome stuff in our merch store. All those proceeds continue to help us make bigger and better content for you guys here on YouTube. Also, we have a Patreon account with other behind-the-scenes stuff. All of our old Crash compilation videos are on there as well. If you guys support us on Patreon, it helps us out a ton. It's really our only source of revenue besides our merch store, so we'd really appreciate you guys if you guys supported us over there. I think that's it, Tom. I mean, terrible weekend of racing, but we got some optimism coming up this weekend. Darlington, like I said, can't mess that up. And then F1's back again, and F1 has been a thriller so far this season. Maybe I thought last year was like the best F1 season, but this year might top it, dude. To be honest with you, dude, this F1 season started off on fire, so I'm excited for this weekend's race at Japan. All right, guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's been another episode of the Full Send Half Mast podcast. Thank you guys again for tuning in, and enjoy the races this weekend. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll catch y'all in the next one.
Now for the controversy.